Good morning, boys and girls. I am Mrs. Walkirk, your art teacher, and I am going to share a book with you this morning. And we're going to learn a little bit about a very important part of art. And this first 9 weeks, that's what we're really going to be concentrating on is parts of art. I have a book. I wonder if you can guess what part of art we're going to be talking about. If you said colors, you are right. And I love this book. This book is Mouse Paint. Mouse paint? I don't know any mice who paint, but boy, do these mice in the book paint. This book is about mice who get in a little trouble, but who learn a lot about mixing colors. It is by Ellen Stoll Wash, and you can see her name right here. She wrote the words and she created the illustrations or pictures. That makes her the author and the illustrator, because the illustrator is the person who tells the story in pictures, and the author is the person who tells the story with words. Can you see those mice? They're kind of hard to see. The cat can see them. Once there were 3 white mice on a white sheet of paper. The cat couldn't find them. They were camouflaged. Camouflage is just when you hide by becoming the same color of your surroundings, like lizards do out in the garden. One day, while the cat was asleep, the mice saw 3 jars of paint. 3 jars of paint. And these 3 jars of paint had the very most important colors in them. One was blue, one was yellow, and one was red. Now, we call those 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red, the primary colors. Now, primary is just a big word that means most important and first. And you got to have all those colors to do a lot of things in art with paints or crayons or pastels. From these 3 colors, blue, yellow, and red, we make all the other colors. I wonder what's going to happen with those jars of paint. The mice thought it was mouse paint, and they climbed right in. One went into the blue, one mouse went into the yellow, he's upside down, and one mouse went into the red. When they climbed out, one was red, one was yellow, and one was blue. Wow. They sure look different, don't they? They're not camouflaged anymore. They dripped puddles of paint onto the white paper. The puddles looked like fun. I know about puddles because when I was young, I used to love rain puddles of water, and I would ride my bicycle through there, and all the muddy water would splash up all the way up to the top of my head. My mama wasn't too happy about that, but I loved it. Well, the red mouse was the bravest. She jumped down in that yellow puddle and she went woo-hoo, and she did a little dance with her feet, and she danced and danced and danced until her red paint and her yellow paint mixed together and created, I wonder if some of you know what color yellow and red make. orange. The yellow and blue mouse said, "What happened?" And the red mouse said, "Yellow and red make orange." Now we call orange a secondary color. Secondary, like two, because it takes two of these primary, first, most important colors to make it. So if you mix red and yellow together, you're going to get, let's all say it, orange. Well, not to be outdone, the yellow mouse saw the blue puddle and he said, "I'm going to do that too." And he jumped into the blue puddle. Now we've got yellow and blue mixing together. He didn't swish his feet around. He just jumped up and down and splash, 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 until all the yellow and blue mixed. And I wonder if you know what color yellow and blue make. Look, said the red and blue mouse. The yellow mouse has made green. So that means that yellow and blue mixed together make green. Wow. I'll bet since it takes two of the first most important primary colors mixed together, that I wonder if green is also a secondary color because it takes yellow and blue. If you said it is a secondary color, you are right. Well, the blue mouse, not to be outdone, said, "Hey, y'all are having all the fun. My turn." And in the blue mouse jumped right on top of the red puddle. And he splished and he splashed until all the red and blue mixed together to make, I wonder what color. A big puddle of purple. Now that might be a little bit difficult to see from the camera and from the lighting, but blue and red together make purple. Wow, I wonder if it takes blue and red, and they're both primary, first, most important colors to make purple. Does that make purple a secondary color? Two primary colors mixed together make purple. That makes it a secondary color. Ooh, by this time the paint was all drying on the mice and it was feeling kind of sticky and itchy, and they just really didn't want that paint on them anymore. So they looked over and decided to jump into the cat's water bowl. And they swam around and swam around and swam around until they were nice and white again. But when they looked down at the water in the cat's bowl, and the red and the yellow and the blue mice had washed all that paint off, another color appeared. I wonder what color you get when you mix red and yellow and blue together. You get mud, you get brown. Sometimes when you finally get to come in the art room and paint, sometimes Miss Walker will say, "Look how all your watercolors or all your tempera paints have mixed together to make brown." And sometimes we want that to happen, and sometimes it's just an accident. Well, the mice decided they were not going to get themselves dirty with paint anymore, but they were just going to paint the paper. So they took the red paint and the red paint brushes and painted the white paper red. And then they took the yellow paint and the yellow paint brushes and painted the paper yellow. And they did the same thing with the blue. That's Miss Walker's favorite color. Don't tell the other colors. We don't want them to be jealous. And they did the same thing. Wait, they didn't have any orange paint. I wonder if they dipped their paintbrushes in a little bit of yellow and a little bit of red and painted the white paper and mixed the colors together. I think that's how they did that. So they painted with yellow and red, two primary colors, and made orange a secondary color. And then they painted with yellow and blue and made green, which makes green a secondary color because they took two primary colors, or most important colors, and mixed them together. And then they took the red and the blue and mixed them together and painted the paper purple, which makes purple a secondary color because it took two primary colors to make it. Phew, they were tired. But I tell you, they were still pretty smart mice because they left some of the paper white. Now I wonder why they left a little bit of that paper white. And what in the world is that right there? Could that be the cat's tail? You know, this is an artist's trick to put part of an object in the picture so that you have to wonder what the rest of the cat looks like and what the cat's doing. Artists use that trick a lot by making the person looking at the picture think about what's going on outside of the illustration or the picture. All right, boys and girls, that's our first lesson in a part of art called color. And you're going to have some directions for a scavenger hunt. Do you know what a scavenger hunt is? Scavenger hunt is when you go and you scavenge. That means you look in closets and in cupboards and in pantries and maybe even outside. And we're going to go on a scavenger hunt. And I want you to find an object that is red, an object that is yellow, an object that is blue, an object that is orange, an object that is purple, and an object that is green. And I want you to play around with those. And I want you to say, what color does my blue and yellow make? And then put the green beside it. And that way you can move your objects around. You can take a picture of your objects and send it to Mrs. Walker. You can draw me a picture if you'd like and just send it to me. And I would love to see all that. Now, next week, with our next week lesson, we're going to do a little bit more with color. And I hope that you have fun with your scavenger hunt. And I hope that you enjoy doing your art lessons. And I will see you in the art room next week. Have a great week. Bye.